Hey everyone, welcome back to another Merly on Time. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel today. I have a watch that was given to me by a company out of London, England called Draco London, and they gave me their Awakening Chronograph. They gave it to me to review on the channel. I do not have to return the watch, and so I want to give a huge thank you to Daniel at Draco London for doing that for me. I love this watch. It has made its way to my top box, pushing out one of the other ones. It is an amazing watch, the first of their releases that they have done. So for the first watch that this company has released, they did an absolutely amazing job. So we're going to jump right into this review. We're going to get an up-close personal look at this Draco London Awakening Chronograph. You're going to be really impressed with this one, I think, just as I was. Let's check it out. So this is the Awakening Chronograph by Draco London. But before we crack open the box, let me show you what I'm wearing on my wrist today. I am wearing my Seiko SSB 031 chronograph. And I've done this intentionally because I believe that this watch, in my opinion anyways, is the best. It certainly is one of the best quartz chronographs that you can get. And I thought it would be good to compare the Draco London with this one. I can tell you that I am really impressed with the look and feel and quality of this watch. And for the first watch released by this company, based out of London, England again, I think they've absolutely hit it out of the park. You can see the watch comes packaged in this beautiful black lacquered finish box. And the watch itself is sitting in there nicely with a nice leather pillow on it. And just have a look at this, guys. This is absolutely beautiful. As you can see, the dial is really beautiful with the Draco logo at the 12 o'clock. And they actually have a design feature which I think is very cool and unique, which we'll get to in just a minute. So let me just take care of the specifications of this watch. First of all, we have a 41 millimeter case diameter. That's between the pusher and the crown. And when you factor in the crown from the 9 to the 3 o'clock, you have a 43.7 millimeter wide case. The case thickness is 11.3 millimeters thick. You do have a single push-pull crown on it. You can see it's got a triangle, so it is branded with a triangle logo, which also matches the triangle on the bottom of the orange chronograph seconds hand. You have a lug tip to lug tip of 49 millimeters. I forgot to measure the band in my notes, so let's just do that with Super Cali. Say hello, Super Cali. Well, hello! Wow! watch. So your your bandwidth at the lugs is 20 millimeters. So very easy to switch out, obviously. You have a sapphire crystal covering this dial. You have a nicely framed date window at the 4 o'clock, between the 4 o'clock and the 5 o'clock. Now, some people don't really like a date window between the 4 and 5. I honestly don't mind it at all. The case back is beautifully finished with the Draco story. Don't know if you can really see it very good there, but the story of Draco, the inspiration for the watch, has been laser etched onto that case back. You would have seen a little closer up picture of that on the up close and personal look anyways. The movement in this watch is a Seiko VK Mecha Quartz movement, though to be honest, the website doesn't specify which version of VK movement it does have, but it does have the Seiko movement. The band that is supplied has 20 millimeters, as I just measured, and it's a combination of black nylon on the top, and the underside of this one has a nice suede leather to it. It has an adjustable, and this is a first for me, which I really, really like, an adjustable butterfly clasp for it as well. A quick release with the 2 security pushers on the underside of that. Really, really nice. And as you can see also underneath, it does have quick release spring bars on the band for swapping it out very easily. The band did come a little bit stiff, but after wearing for a few days, it's loosened up quite nicely, and it is a very, very comfortable wearing watch. And the watch also features 100 meters of water resistance. The star of the show on this one is definitely the dial, where you have a most unique design feature, and that is they started with a transparent dial and they hand painted it. And so what they have done is they have left, let me zoom in, and hopefully you can see this on video. Part of the dial is translucent or see-through. And so in certain light, you can actually see the numbers of the date wheel in behind and around the applied indices. And right there at the Draco logo, you can see part of the Mecha Quartz movement that's in behind the dial. So it's an amazing feature that they did with this one that I haven't seen on another watch. And so let's just talk about the features of the watch, and we'll work from the outside to inside. It does have a tachymeter, and so you see the numbers printed on the outside of the fixed bezel for the tachymeter. And a tachymeter just allows you to measure how fast an object is going, and you do so by measuring it between a fixed distance. And so, for example, if you measure a vehicle that takes 30 seconds to travel 1 kilometer, on the bottom of the bezel it will say 120, and you can see that there. And so if it takes 30 seconds to travel a kilometer, you know that you are traveling 120 kilometers per hour. And so on the inner ring of the rehaut, starting at the top, you can see that we have a telemeter, and this is actually quite neat. It is the first watch that I have seen with a telemeter on it, and the telemeter allows you to measure the distance of, for example, a storm. So if you have a thunderstorm and you see a flash of lightning and you start the chronograph, you wait until you hear the thunder, and as soon as the thunder noise is made, you stop the chronograph, and on this example you can see just over 3 seconds. So once the lightning flashes and then you hear the thunder 3 seconds later, you know that the storm is, according to the telemeter, about 1 kilometer away from you. So that is really, really neat. Then of course you have on the underside of the rehaut printed on there, you have the minute and seconds indices, and the every 5 minutes you have the Arabics 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. The applied indexes are metal, and they glitter quite nicely in the sun and give off really a lot of nice flare. You do have the Draco logo at the 12 o'clock, and you have 3 complications or subdials on this watch. You have your 24-hour subdial at the 3 o'clock. You have the running seconds, 60-second subdial, which is the timekeeper for this watch at the 6 o'clock. And at the 9 o'clock, you have the 60-minute chronograph timer subdials. And I love the prominent orange seconds hand for the chronograph. And this chronograph is, of course, running with the Seiko VK movement, which allows you to have an instant reset. And so to start the chronograph, you would push the button at the top. You have a beautiful Mecha Quartz movement, which sweeps that seconds hand at 4 ticks per second, gives you a bit of a sweeping feel to it. And to stop the chronograph, obviously you hit the top button again, and the quick reset, which is really amazing, snaps it right back. And then you can start the chronograph again. So it is just really, really well done. The hands on the watch, the hour and the minute hand, are both loomed, and it does have a decent amount of loom on it. And just by way of comparison, let's take a look at the loom, and you'll see it side by side with the Seiko. It's got BGW9 Swiss Super Luminova, and you can see it's doing actually quite very well. And once we speed up the time lapse on this, you can see that the hour and the minute hand hold up quite nicely. It does have actually very, very decent loom, and so I've been very, very impressed with it. It does last a little bit longer. Obviously the Seiko, I think, is a little bit better with respect to the loom because it has the markers, the 5-minute markers loomed as well, whereas this one doesn't. The cost of this watch, in my opinion, is very good, reasonable, priced at £250. I think it's going to be a little bit more for US dollars. It's going to be a lot more for Canadian dollars. We just get nailed with the currency exchange on that. But you are getting for the money spent a really well finished, excellent watch. And I give Daniel credit and kudos to him. I give him a huge 2 thumbs up for this being their first watch that they released. I think it is absolutely amazing. Now, with all of that said, there are some things that they will need to do to make improvements on future models. Daniel did say that they're going to release more watches, and they have other chronographs in the lineup planned. One of the things that they will need to do if they supply it on a band is make the band, there is an issue with the band, make it a little bit longer. Now I have a 7.5-inch wrist, which I will show you the wrist shot in just a moment. If you have an 8-inch wrist, or even a little bit bigger, say between 7.5 and 8-inch wrist, you will have to wear it on the last hole, the keeper. And if you do, it barely reaches the keeper. It almost doesn't reach this keeper, and so I think they need to make this band just a hair longer, maybe a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch longer, so that it will sit nicely in the keepers. And I think you can see there is already some fraying at the holes of the band, and so for the nylon top of this band, I'm wondering about the longevity, given that I've had it for a week. I've been wearing it for most of the week, and we're already starting to see some fraying on the holes, and I don't even use any of these holes, and so this is just wear and tear, and I'm not sure how long it will be before they really start fraying, and you have to end up replacing the band because of that. The other issue that I have with this watch in comparing it to the Seiko is the legibility. So let's start with the tachymeter. You can see very clearly the tachymeter on the outer bezel of the Seiko is far more legible and useful than the tachymeter on the Draco. It's laser etched in that gunmetal PVD coating, and I do like that, but you do struggle to see the numbers on it. And so if you were actually using the tachymeter, the legibility just is lacking. And so the Seiko obviously wins out for legibility in all respects. Even with the chronograph timer itself, you can see that on the Seiko, you have at the 9 o'clock for the 60-minute chronograph timer, Very well defined 5-minute indices, as well as, you know, the printed Arabics. And on the Draco London, although you have the indices and it's, you know, easier to read, what I think they should have done was, if they didn't print, you know, 5, 10, 15 around it, they should have made the indices at the 5-minute, at the 10-minute, at the 20 and 25, etc., a little bit longer, even bolder, just to help with the legibility of that chronograph. And the same can be said about the 24-hour subdial on this one compared to the Seiko. I mean, just look at the difference in legibility there. Seiko has the 6 and the 12 and the 18 printed on, whereas the Draco just has the 24 and the 12. It's just much easier to read, and quite frankly, I'm not a huge fan of 24-hour subdials anyways, but the legibility of this one as a functional chronograph definitely is less than, you know, my Seiko. And so that's really the only thing I can knock this watch on, is I just think it needs to be improved for legibility for those chronograph features on the watch. And so let me show it to you on wrist, and then I'll give you my closing remarks. And here's what it looks like on my 7.5-inch wrist, and you can see what I mean about that keeper. At the second hole where I'm wearing it, it just reaches underneath the first keeper, and so yeah, they definitely need to make the band a little bit longer. And I've also been rocking these custom bracelet and beaded bracelet and other I don't even know what you call that bracelet, but I've been rocking it with that. These were gifts from Daniel as well, and so the combination, I think, let me see if I can get this all in one shot. You know, Shrek hands here. I just think the combination is absolutely awesome, and you can see this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous watch. Really, really well done for their first watch released. Very, very impressed with it. So that's the Awakening Chronograph by Draco London, guys, and I think it is, for their first watch that they produced, a really amazing timepiece, and I think it is priced reasonably as well for $250. What do you think? I have really appreciated this journey of doing videos and watch reviews, and I love to see the comments. Thank you for engaging in the comment section, and thank you for subscribing to the channel and supporting the channel. I really am just blown away at the support. I'm doing a giveaway very soon when I reach 500 subscribers. As of the filming of this video, I think I'm at around 484, 485 subscribers. I have an awesome giveaway lined up. Check out the video. Oh, it's going to be right here. Check out this video of my giveaway announcement. I'm going to be giving away a Seiko 5 automatic watch from my collection. Straps Co. has sponsored the giveaway as well and are supplying 2 bands to go with it. A stainless steel band and a nice suede leather band, and I'm going to be showing that in another video that will drop later this week just as an update. And I'm also going to be giving away, well, not me, Mark from Long Island Watch is sponsoring the giveaway. And as a part of the 500 subscriber giveaway, not only do you get the watch, the 2 bands that come from Straps Co. with it, Mark is also gifting a $100 gift certificate to his store, Long Island Watch. And so you want to be a part of that. In order to be a part of it, you need to subscribe. So please take the time to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, like the video if you like it, and more importantly, comment and let me know, what do you guys think of this Draco London? I think it is an absolute beautiful piece. Really impressed with it. There are obviously some things that it doesn't measure up against when it comes to my Seiko SSB 031, as you could clearly see, I'm sure. But overall, they did an amazing job with their first timepiece, and I want to give a huge thank you to Daniel once again for giving me this watch to review for the channel. It has been an absolute pleasure to do it and to own this watch. Thank you so much, Daniel. You did an amazing job with this one, and I wish you all the best in your future and future watches that you produce and put out. So everybody, as always, when you leave your house, make sure that you have a great looking piece to wear on your wrist, like this Draco Awakening Chronograph by Draco London. and make sure wherever you're going, you get there on time. Why don't you check out this video? Where am I going here? This way. Check out the video here. Hit subscribe. Join the Merely On Time channel. And thank you so much for your support. God bless you. We'll see you in the next one.